Hi everyone, I hope you've been well. We're going to start a series together called Intentional Living, and the hope behind it is to encourage us to live deliberate lives or to be mindful and present in the seasons that we're in. And when we look at what intentional living is, it's a mindset and approach to life that involves making deliberate choices and taking purposeful actions to align your life with your beliefs and values. It's not about just going with the flow and simply reacting to circumstances that happen to you or following the status quo. So what does this mean in reality? It means being mindful and intentional about everything in our life, from the way we spend our time and money to the relationships we are in or are building and cultivate, and the careers we decide to pursue. So everything in our lives should align to what we believe. First up on the list is singleness. Yes, I know. Society. Oh, society. It has shaped our mindset to believing that you're incomplete if you're single. Like the destination and is marriage, and that singleness is a pit stop on your way to being married. And that's not true. What if you never get married? What if God says, this is you? Does that mean you don't have purpose? Does that mean you don't have a meaning in life? No. You need to be whole as a person, regardless of whether you get married or you don't get married. And the goal and the purpose that God has created us for is to have communion with Him and to further His mission of furthering the gospel. Whether we're married, whether we're single, whether you're old, whether you're young, the mission is to keep our gaze on God and to further the gospel and make Him known in all nations. So yeah, join me in listening to a couple of friends of mine speak about their journey in singleness and the different misconceptions that they've had to deal with in the different times of their lives, from being single at 25 to being single at 30 something or 29. But man, there's beauty in all seasons. So let's hear from them. Let's hear what they have to say.
Hi, my name is Kamogelo Witimelo Chadi. I am, how old am I? I don't know, 30, 20 something, turning 30, I think. Yeah. I am a recovering recluse. So I'm trying to get better with people and relationships and all of that. I love my time. I love reading. I love artsy things, I think. I try to get into artsy things, and I work in consulting. Yeah.
My name is Sandra, also known as the Skyscraper. I am a young person who really loves developing people. I enjoy working with young people. I enjoy serving and just seeing others around me flourish and multiply. I am a multi-passionate person. I love to dance. I love to work with children. I love different kind of things. And yeah.
How long have I been single? So I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a very long time. I think my last very short relationship was in 2012, 2013, somewhere there. But yeah, basically over 10 years now.
I've been single for quite some time now. I really have been doing my best to really grow and have fun in this season of singleness, to really get everything that God has in store for me. That's who I am and what I'm all about. Okay, so how do I define singleness? As per Home Affairs standard, singleness would be you being unmarried, right? And then even in the eyes of the world, we think of singleness being a time whereby you are not in a relationship. For me, singleness would be that moment whereby you're still doing life by yourself in a romantic relationship. You're not in any romantic relationship. You are not, when you are seeing someone, yes, you are dating, but you're still in a single phase. But yours is pretty different because that courtship is leading to marriage. So I define singleness the point in life whereby you are not married and not in any serious romantic relationship.
And my name is Lebo Menwe. I've been single for more than a decade, about 13 years. Okay, what does singleness mean to me? Singleness used to mean frustration and bitterness and worry and wondering what God is not doing in my life. But right now, I've learned to look at it as a gift. You've got a lot of time to dedicate to things that you love, go to places that you love, and spend time with people more than you would if you were in a committed relationship like marriage. So singleness means a gift. It's a gift to me.
How do I define singleness? I think simply not being married. I think biblically the distinction is married or not, but I'd like to extend it a bit further to include not being in a romantic relationship, just for the contemporaries. But yeah, I think mostly not being married. What do I think the purpose of singleness is? Yeah, that's a tough one. I haven't actually thought about it. I think basically the same as every Christian, to just glorify God, to be devoted to God. I haven't actually thought about, as a single, that period of life, what's the purpose of it. But yeah, I would just say just being, a devoted Christian to God and worshiping and just growing in Him. I think, yeah, that's what I would say is the purpose of singleness.
I believe that singleness is a time that is best used to discover your purpose. Now, it doesn't mean that it's only during your season of singleness, but it's a continuous thing. But I believe it's one of the best time to discover your purposes and to pursue the things of God. I'm a Christian and I'm a firm believer that during this time whereby you are not in any romantic relationship, or rather even a marriage whereby there's more things expected of you, during this time you can discover your purpose. You have more time on your hands to do more of the things that you like, to chase after them, to see places. So I think singleness is a great season for exploration, just to discover that which mainly revolves around you and to do the best with it. I think, yeah, that is a great time to use it. Do I think that Christian men experience singleness different to Christian women? Slightly so, because we are of different genders. we do have different needs, and obviously during your season of singleness, that's when you have yourself and your friends and any other people in your lives to perhaps meet that need. I do believe that generally it's the same things that we face, but because of our needs, I'd say we experience it differently. For example, for women, that need for security and affection is something that we experience differently to men, because for them it's not that much of a priority, or perhaps it is coming through from them. So when it comes to our needs, that's how we experience it differently. But with some challenges and just some encounters that we have with people, it is pretty much the same.
I think to some extent we experience it the same way, in the sense that, you know, in our singleness we need to be honoring God, so both sexes, so that's not different. So we need to be growing in Him and pursuing that relationship with God, so that's a similarity. But at the same time, I've always admired how men have, you know, the ability to pursue. So as a woman, if I have some attachments or feelings for a guy, I can't outright go and pursue that guy, right? So I think Christian men have that, you know, that freedom of just pursuing and finding out if there's, you know, reciprocation. Whereas I'll just die with my feelings. Yeah. Misconceptions that exist around singleness. I would say the whole incompleteness, you know, as a single person being incomplete. I think even though it might not be a spoken thing, I think the way we approach singleness, or we live out our single seasons, just, I don't know, like in the world we hear phrases like, you know, when someone meets a partner, they say things like, you complete me, or, you know, you're my other half, or whatever. So there's a sense that as a single person you are not fully complete, which is not correct. So I would say that's one of them. Yeah.
Most people, I don't know, make single people seem like they're lonely, or they need to be helped or some way, because I find there are times when people are trying to hook me up with people, or they're trying to do arranged dating gimmicks, which are actually annoying. But single people are normal. You can spend time with them whether you are married or not. Single people are just humans who don't have a life partner that they plan to get married to yet. So yeah, that's the one thing that I've seen.
I think because I've been single for quite some time, right? And I always try to do the best that I can, but there are certain spaces as we grow in friendship circles, in people that we associate with, that now perhaps they've gone to the next level of their life and they are now married, and it's a case whereby perhaps it's something that you do together as partners. And yes, they will try to make you fit in, but you can notice that this is meant to be a thing for married couples. I think sometimes just not at a point of trying to keep up with others, but being at different stages and levels with your friends, and having to understand that the same way we used to do our friendship when you were still single and we were all single and it was nice, it won't be the same way now that you're in the next phase and season of your life. And understanding that and just adapting it into the relationship. One thing that is quite a small challenge is just the questions that we get asked when you go to maybe a wedding of, when are you getting married? People wondering, our young nieces and nephews like to ask that, when are we going to your marriage? And I won't say it's a challenge, but it's just different perceptions and things that people would expect. But yeah, I always try to make the most of it. Beyond those challenges, we continue.